This is going to be a bit of a weird one. I've never done this before, but basically, a guy that I've been watching on YouTube for a little while now, we started chatting recently. The reason I'm talking like this is I don't know whether I'm actually going to upload it as video or just send it to him, but he was like, hey, can you look at my demos and see where I'm going wrong? Because I think he's stuck in silver. He's stuck in silver 4, that looks like, and he can't get out. And I played a few games with him, like Wingman and stuff like that, and the guy has alright aim, so I was kind of confused. I was like, sometimes it's just like poor decisions and shit like that, as to why you get stuck. But that's what I'm here to figure out. I want to know what's going on. Essentially, sorry that I'm not making much eye contact. I'm really bad at this. But I'm trying. Okay, I'm trying. So I thought I'd film it. And upload it and see what happens. It might end up on unlisted and just go straight to him, or I might keep it up on my channel. It depends, but we're gonna jump in. I am one of these assholes that plays in 4x3, so the video is gonna be in 4x3. I know it sucks, but you're gonna have to deal with it. So let's see what we've got here. What's the buy stat? So he still has 300 remaining. Interesting. He's gone for utility. Good. I'd say utility players, especially when you're solo queuing, this is a solo queue match. Utility, very, very important, especially first round. Especially on a map like Dust, where just bum rushing B apps, which it does look like they're doing. It looks like they are going for a B push, no surprise. Silvers, rush B. So it's good that he is playing on the B side, and it's good that he has his utility that you can see down here. He's got a smoke and a flash. My initial instinct would be you want to smoke off this area quite early, because you'll hear information, especially in lower levels. They'll push into here. If he plays sort of closer up here, you'll hear the footsteps. You'll hear them immediately. Goodbye to start off with. That's all I can say on that. It'll probably find it easier. Good, so he smoked off like I said he would. Oh no, you heard a footstep, so he knows that there are a couple in there. That is good crosshair placement actually, just on the outside of the smoke. And that was interesting. Everything up until that point made sense. You could see that he threw the smoke down quite early. You saw that he smoked off this quite early. He played around here for information, like I thought he would, which is good. So the smoke could have landed deeper, but it wasn't awful. He knew that he had to smoke that off at the start of the round because a B push is just, it's so likely. He had a flash on reserve, which is good. He didn't waste it at the start of the round. He could have easily just yeeted it in there and wasted a flash, but he didn't. He held on to it, which is good. Utility in the afterplant as well can be 10 times more useful than utility holding a push. Yeah, holding onto utility is very important, especially in the first round as well. So the fact that he used that smoke early on and held onto his flash, muy bien. That's good, muy bien. It sucks that he clicked the wrong mouse button and started taking off his suppressor. It happens. It does happen. It just fucking sucks. But he got that information. His team started rotating. Admittedly, his team were quite late on the rotate, but that's I'm assuming that he made comms. But the problem is silvers, and sometimes you're just gonna have to deal with late rotates and people not wanting to listen, or you've been muted in chat, or it's just shit that comes with playing Counter-Strike. Pretty much flawless apart from just not shooting at anyone because you're taking your suppressor on. It's going back again. Okay, they force sport. They force sport, but they're allowed to force fight because they won that round. Again, that smoke much better. That much better. They have one teammate is currently pushing up, so he knows that nothing's there, so he can start rotating. Which, there we go, he's decided he's going to do. It probably took him a little while to look at the minimap. And he now knows that the long player is fucked off. It seems a bit indecisive on where he's going. It looks like he's just kind of watching the minimap and watching out what's going on. But it's good read. No, bro. He had the right idea. Okay, it seems like he can't make up his mind on what he's doing. He kept going left, back, front, back, front, back. Just, I presumed he spent almost all that time staring at the minimap, looking at where his teammates are and where the people could be. And the annoying thing is, he had the right idea. The last guy was going long, but he just kind of didn't commit to it. Whether he didn't commit to it because he didn't think that they were there, or the fact that the entire team had pushed, it's hard to tell, but it's a silver game and it looks quite scrappy, I'm not going to lie. There's a lot of people kind of running around everywhere. It's like he's slightly peeking. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. Maybe you should work on your status stepping a bit, you know, your ADs, because they seemed a little bit inconsistent around the corner. And to be honest, when you're doing something like that, you can hold that angle. There's no need to jiggle peek that angle because you already have that. That is already yours, you know. Right guys, so I've jumped in game to kind of give you a visual representation of what I'm on about when I'm talking about holding a line, holding an angle. So I'm here on Dust, and as you could see, he was standing here, and he was like jiggle peeking out and out and in and out and out and in. My problem with that is this line here, this angle that you're holding, that's yours. Okay, that's your angle. You're defending this area. This is your line of fire. Okay. He has to peek you. So the problem that I have is when you strafe in and out, in and out, in and out, you're adding variables. Peek out, if you see him, you have to adjust your crosshair and shoot whilst on that counter strafe. So you've got to go like this. And shoot, and shoot, and shoot, and shoot. And 90% of the time you're going to have to adjust your crosshair and do the same thing. And that's too many variables. You can hit it, don't get me wrong, you can hit it. It's not like you're not going to hit that, but you can hit it. But why would you add that much variation into the way that you're playing when all you have to do is just hold the angle? Okay, that's minimal effort. You're not losing anything. If you peek like this, let's say I'm running out of this corner and I peek, he's going to see me before I see him, right? He's going to see my shoulder as I peek. So why when you swing around would you go in and out for him to see you first and kill you? He's got to cross this line. Think of this, right? There is a line from where you are going all the way into this door, okay? That's your line of sight. That's your line of fire. He crosses that. Then you shoot, okay? That's... He crosses this line, you can shoot and you can fall back. And you haven't lost anything. You've probably hit him. He's been told where the bomb's down. Nice rotate from the teammate behind. He does get taken down, so this was interesting. Okay, he knows he's committing. Not bad, not bad, not bad. That was a nice little flick up as well. It's a 64 tick GOTV, so it's gonna look like it's way off. But you could tell that was decent. I wouldn't have, maybe personally, I wouldn't have played such an aggressive angle. But if you're gonna hit your shots, go fucking nuts. You need to consider it in a 1v1. When they're strapped for time, your terrorists, so you're playing CT, so the terrorists are strapped for time, they've got to plant the bomb, and it's a 1v1, they don't know where you are. Playing in an open aggressive angle is a lot more risky than it needs to be. You can hide until that bomb starts being planted. Like there's no need to peek stuff that's unnecessary. And the second that bomb gets planted as well, that the terrorist is going to try and get in a position where he can defend that. That's an optimal time to attack, because he's going to have planted the bomb, and the first thing he's going to do is look up and go, where the fuck am I meant to hide now? Like, where maybe he's planted for a specific area, but he then has to back out of that and then clear so many angles before he can get into a position where he's comfortable defending that bomb. That's a really good time, and especially like he did in the first round, if he had held onto his utility, that would have been an optimum time to throw your utility and kill him there and then when he feels like he's comfortable. You've thrown that almost every round. I think you have thrown that every round, and so far one of them has been good. Like that's just a terrible smoke. It's awful. And the flash wasn't necessary either, because you'd had no information of them pushing. If you'd thrown the flash and then immediately peeked into it and cleared it, fine, but you just throw it and just for the sake of throwing it, and you should never buy utility just to throw it for the sake of throwing. Yeah, I find it kind of interesting that he stayed on B for so long. The bomb's down on A. I know you've got a lot of people on A already. You can defend. If he's... Obviously, he's holding B for the lurk. But if you're implying that there's a lurker there who's on B, especially on a very, very, very simple map like Dust, there's going to be there's that crossroad. Hey, pause it right there, you dumb fuck, because you can't explain shit. This is Future Jack, and you're about to go witness to Future Jack, who's about to record a little segment in-game to explain what the fuck you're trying to talk about, because this is awful. This is literally like 4 AM dreary dog shit, and I can't understand a single word that I was trying to spew out my mouth. Okay, so the point I was trying to get at is, you can see over here, the scenario that he was currently in, he had 3 people playing on A. He had 1 guy at long, he had 2 people on short, and the bomb was down pretty much exactly on site. The reason I thought it was weird that he stayed on B for so long was basically if there was a rotator, a lurk, if the last guy was a lurker, there's no need to hold it from here. He could have fallen back to CT. You can watch this angle here, and the perks of watching this angle here is he's like, let's say he's on B side but the bomb's down on A, so he still has to come to you anyway. So he's either going to go all the way back through mid and he's going to have to still come through CT here, or he's going to have to go through long, or he's going to have to go through short. Luckily you've already got 2 guys on short and you had 1 guy on long, so you were set essentially. All you needed to do as the lurk player was fall back here. And I'll say the reason you would want to fall back to this position is you're closer to the bomb. The perks of that are essentially, if he comes down from here, if he comes from B, if he was lurking like you thought he was, you could kill him from this angle and there would be no problem. If he was going short, you can run up and help defend the bomb from here, or pick a place on site. It doesn't matter, you can play anywhere, it's up to you. I'm not going to tell you how to play your game. Or if he was long, you could pick it from here, or you could have the guy that came, the 2 people that were short, they come give you a little boost and you can play an off angle like that off angle there. Like, there's more options. Let's say you were on B site and you stayed on B site like you were, and your guys who were short, you guys that were playing short, they both died to the guy that had pushed up short. You're stuck on B site and this guy's stuck, he pushed really far up long. So he literally could have got the bomb, planted for short and ran all the way back, and you still wouldn't have been able to do jack shit about it. Even if you had pushed up like this far as he was pushing away, you've got to clear all of this. You've got to clear all of that. You have to clear all of this. You have to clear car. You have to clear long, depending on how far away your teammate is. If he starts planting here and then fucks off, you know, he can play from literally any angle along here, any angle at all, and just fuck you. So I don't know what the fuck that fucking sucks. That wasn't the guy on 195 ping, was it? That just fucking headshot domed him out through the fucking door and then tagged another guy as well. One of your team should always smoke the cross if you're going to push it. If you don't have a smoke, then you can use a flash. If you don't have if you don't have either of those, you can use a nade, because the smoke from the nade can block vision. This is good. I say this is good. He doesn't know that they're all in spawn, but he hasn't over-rotated. He's come away from B, which may have been a bit of a mistake early on. Okay. Good. Now back away. There's no need to be there. There was no need to cross there, mate. There's no need to cross again. You know there are too many people. Okay. If you died then, you've then lost mid control. Look at your layout. Look at your layout right now. You've got 3 people spread across at A. You've got them mid. If you had died here, they could have just gone straight to B. They had full B control. They had bomb plant. Smoke, flash, peeking that. Again, I'd say that flash is quite unnecessary. Once you've smoked off that area, they're not going to be peeking it. And if their area is smoked off, they're expecting a spam, so they're going to be hiding around corners. These guys just stayed back here. But once this gets smoked, the odds are they're going to hide here, they're going to hide here, they're going to sort of push around into this area, just kind of take map control. So throwing that flash over just doesn't really do anything. It's that they're already in positions that they're either not going to get blinded or they're comfortable being blinded in. The only time you should ever flash through here is if you're going to go for a stupid balls deep run and spray. Context for this clip: basically they had pinpointed the terrorist in the back of B tunnels and they kept pushing him, kept pushing all of the terrorists. This is the criticism that I gave. Basically the intro towards this clip was super long, so it made sense just to cut it and talk. So you had teammates, you had enemies in this area, right? Bomb down here, you had teammates pushing up here. Fuck knows why they're pushing up there. That doesn't make... I get that you want map control, but you don't have to pin them in this corner. And the problem is when you pin them, this is an open area. This is a very open area. They could be playing a lot of angles, and the problem is when you pin this in, you've got them in this area. These are your entry points. you can only be in these 2 points. If you're going to try and confine them in this spot, rather than utilizing their own space, rather than letting them go through the narrow corridor like they should be doing, they're on T side, they're the ones that should be pushing through the choke points for you to kill, rather than holding a weird obscure angle like this, or even one from back of this box. That was an awful line. Something like that. Rather than holding a weird obscure angle where they have to go through that choke point, your team decided, oh, you know what, I'm going to start going through their choke points to push them. Hey guys, slightly different video to what I'd normally do, so if you've managed to watch it this far, thank you. I hope you enjoyed, and if you want to see more kind of stuff like this, let me know, and I'm down to do it. They take a little bit longer to do, just because recording the demos take a bit of time, and then just cutting out all the information that's not important. You take like a 2-hour demo and crop it down to like 15 minutes. So, but I'm down to do it again. It was fun. It was enjoyable. So if you enjoy, and hopefully some of this shit can help you as well. That's like the primary purpose of it. If it doesn't do very good at helping you, then then you just wasted 15 minutes of your life. But yeah, thank you guys again, and peace.